to order. Regular board meeting, May 19th, 2025. Can I get a roll call?
Mrs. Sterling?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
Here.
Mr. McKnight?
Present.
Mrs. Carlson?
Here.
Mrs. Meeks here. Mrs. Johnson?
Here.
Mrs. McKinney?
Here.
Chris Arduino, recording secretary.
Troy Yarbrough, superintendent.
Shelley Wagner, human resources.
Michelle Art, curriculum and instruction.
Jason Bloom, Communications and Community Relations.
Josh Ram, business and operations.
All right. So it is my pleasure this evening to welcome some of our 5th grade students from Olson Park Elementary. For our new board members, I know you've been to board meetings before, but what we do here is on a rotational basis, we have our principals from our elementary schools select students to help us start our board meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. And each time these principals choose students for a variety of reasons, which you're going to hear about in a second, but for our new board members, just so you know that our principals sign up, and so twice a year you see our schools come out to help us start our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Nelson from Olson Park Elementary, and she'll explain why these fabulous kids are here.
Thank you. At Olson Park, we have something called Student of the Month, and teachers nominate one student per month to be Student of the Month. These are students who are consistently responsible, respectful, and safe at school, and they're role models for their peers. So I invited tonight all of the Students of the Month from 5th grade for the entire school year. So these are the students that were able to come, so they should all be applauded for their efforts, and they're all leaving us, like we said, last Monday at Olson Park today. So, are you ready, guys? We're going to say our names and introduce ourselves before we start. Okay, go ahead.
She did say you're ready. Yeah, gotcha.
Go ahead.
So, my name is Annabelle Lusak.
My name is Isaac Pickowitz.
My name is Scarlett Pickowitz.
My name is Talia
My name is Olivia Rohr.
My name is Melania Quintana.
My name is Joshua Kane. My name is Jackson Bosherman.
My name is Evan Verdina.
Go.
Here we go.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nice job. So we're going to get a photo.
Thank God.
You're doing great. Right like that. So I'm going to have the board members please stand around you, and I'll take a photo, and then I'll move on along in case the parent or something guardian wants to get a photo as well.
Thanks, Scarlett. You're fine.
I might have to have you move over just a little bit. Just so I can see everybody's face. Perfect. All right. 1, 2, 3. 3. I'll move real quick. Feel free to jump up and take a photo.
Nice job. One more. Oh, one more. Good job.
All right. Thank you, families, for bringing them out. Thank you.
Okay.
I can technically do that.
I would like to strike 16A as an action item.
Is that on page 5?
It is on the last page.
Oh, okay.
And with that, can I get a motion to approve the agenda with that change?
Motion. Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinley?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye. Dr. Yarbrough.
All right, thank you. Ms. Nelson, the kids did a wonderful job, so thank you. The mission of the Harlem Consolidated School District as a better part of the community is to help diverse learners realize their unlimited potential by providing an educational program dedicated to academic excellence and the development of strong character in a safe and respectful learning environment.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion to approve the board meeting minutes from May 12th, 2025?
Motion. Second.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Jason Bloom.
All right. Well, it is my pleasure this evening to recognize one of our student athletes. Actually a familiar face, well, the coach too, but a familiar face who's been here in the past, but we had the opportunity to recognize Bo Shields for an outstanding season. He's had multiple outstanding seasons, but an outstanding season this year. This young gentleman was all-team first conference MVP, state qualifier in 2 events, right? The 200 IM and 100 breaststroke, right? So really, obviously, an accomplished career. Brad Shields, the swimming and diving coach, as well as here with him, so you can tell there's a relation there. His father, who is also a strong former swimmer of ours, but is leading this program and obviously seeing some great success. There's a lot of students that really had a great kind of end of their season as well. This year, I'm sure Brad will mention a few of those, but I'll turn it over to Brad to kind of talk about Bo his accomplishments, but also just the season on the whole.
All right. You can come on. Have your wife come on.
Oh, Tracy's. I'm sorry, Tracy.
Many of you don't know this is my first year as the head coach. I was the assistant for a few years, and most of the Harlem swim team, a lot of the swimmers come in as brand new swimmers. So we start a lot of them off from a very, very new beginning, and so. This year was my first year that I can kind of claim responsibility for some of their track, and the team actually, we have a small team, but we do pretty well for the number of kids we have and the experience. So obviously I like to come every year with Bo. I think Bo is the first ever Harlem swimmer that's won the state 3 years. And he's still got another year to go. So if he puts in the work, and we'll be back next year. But let's see what else. Bo was the conference champion the last 2 years in the breaststroke. So he won it as a sophomore, won it as a junior. I think as a freshman he might have got second or third maybe. So we're trying to forget that one. It's still pretty good as a freshman. Yeah. No, we like the blue ones. And then this year, one of the special things about this year is our sectional. Generally, you get to go to state by winning the event. There's also time that you can reach or meet or beat that also allows you to go to state. So, for example, if you were second place and still beat the qualifying time, you could go to state. Typically speaking, in our sectional, there aren't many people that actually make the state cut time. This was the first time since some all-star swimmers that we had in the last few years, or a few years ago, that somebody had actually gotten a state time. So Bo was the only state qualifier by time this year out of the sectional. So that's that's about it. So.
And obviously, like you're hearing the list of accomplishments, and I'm a proud father, but we know that the program is obviously in good hands. And we've seen that over the past years. He was an assistant coach as well, but you know, we talk often in these board meetings. Our coaches that have been around for a while that have built programs that are coming back to these meetings on a regular basis. There's a reason for that. And And so we appreciate the investment that you have, not only in your son, obviously, but in the program and the team. Because I was looking back at just, again, some of the PRs and things that were happening towards the end of the season, at conference and sectionals and stuff like that. And so, obviously, testament to the coaching. So, he said he was supposed to prepare a 3 to 5 minute speech, but he forgot to do that. So, I will not go to waste the opportunity to let you say a few things if you'd like, but he did say that he did not like the speech class, so I'm sorry about that, but anything you want to add to?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, all right. I'm kind of embarrassed you now, so.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, I think it's safe for us to say on behalf of the board, our community, our staff, our fellow athletes, coaches, congratulations. It's rare that we have athletes that go to state 3 times, and hoping that next year we'll be able to invite you back because you've been there a 4th time, and that's a pretty impressive feat in itself. And so proud of you, proud of how you represent us, and I look forward to seeing what happens next year. So
Yes, sir.
Jason, before you,
Yes.
can you tell us what he was actually in, the different?
Oh, do you want to go through it? I got the 200 IM and breaststroke, right?
Yeah. What specifically do you want to?
Just the different things you swim? And
Oh, so 2 IM is a mix of everything. So I'm very versatile in that way, and I would say that those are my main 2 strokes, but I will swim anything.
So you were in a relay. You guys
Put him in the pool.
What relay? Did you have a relay at sectionals?
Yep.
or-
Yeah, we had some relays.
We
Okay.
swam the 200 medley relay, which is like the 2 IM mix of all of the strokes, and then the 200 free relay. And we placed pretty decently in both of them for our team.
So for those of us that are not swimmers, like, what are the strokes?
Fly, back, breast, free, but the order for the 2 medley, the relay is back, fly,
Back breast wide.
back, breast, fly, free, yes.
I just gotta remember that for this.
So when you're watching the Olympics, in my opinion, the guy that wins the 50 free is, you call him the fastest, and the person that wins the IM, individual medley, is the best. That's how I look at it, because not every person swims every stroke. Bo's best stroke is breaststroke, but the IMers, you don't have much of a fallout. You only get to swim 2 events at sectionals. So both of his events he wins. And if he swam some of the other events, whether it be backstroke, butterfly, or a freestyle only event, he would probably qualify more, but you have to pick 2 events. So you only get to swim 2 individuals, so you only have an opportunity to go to state in 2 individual events.
Oh, wow.
That I do not know, so.
So that's rare that somebody gets to win them both.
Well, congratulations, man. I know it's a lot of hard work, I know it's morning practices, all that stuff that goes into being successful with this, so congratulations to you. So I'm gonna have you come out here. Hold this
Right? Now, you know, random things in the 90s, they just fall into my brain. That's about it. I'll go on the end here. I'm like, where's short?
Yeah, Diane, you might have to slide over. And Rebecca, can you come over just a little bit? There we go. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There you So next, I get to recognize somebody else from our athletic department. Reed Allison was recently named the 24-25 Illinois Athletic Directors Association State Division New Athletic Director of the Year Award. Which is pretty cool. I wanted to read for you all why he was selected for this. So I should have probably just printed this out. So the award that he received is in recognition for his commitment, desire, loyalty, character, and leadership qualities, administering a high school athletic program which exemplifies the highest standards of discipline, honesty, and dignity, which I think is a pretty impressive award to receive that, to be recognized for those things. For those of you that don't know, Reed is fairly new to the Harlem Husky community. You want to explain a little bit about how you got here so that we've got a few new board members, they can hear the path that led you to Harlem and some of the other things you're just excited about with our program.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you, first of all, for this recognition. It's awesome. And one thing as an athletic director, we're a little bit more behind the scenes, so sometimes this isn't as comfortable to get this stuff, because I like to see the guys and girls that are competing for us. I like to see them get recognized, because then that lets me know that we're being successful, because the kids are doing great things. But as far as my background, I was an administrator for 17 years, and then taught prior to that for 6 years, and coached football and track for that period of time as well. Like I think I said in my interview, I've gone 9-0 and I've gone 0-9. So I know, and I was the same coach for both of them. So I realized that success doesn't necessarily equate to wins and losses. It equates to what type of people we're putting out of our athletic department, and we want to be good influences for those kids and do what's best for them, give them the best opportunities for facilities, coaches, and opponents that we can here at in Harlem District 122. So really enjoyed my time here so far, and think there's a great deal of potential here. So I appreciate everybody who's I've been able to work with so far.
Absolutely. I think the cool thing about the award and what I read to you all is that, you know, we know that athletics, like, it's an extracurricular. It's a thing that kids are involved in. It's things that kids get connected to, kids that are passionate. But there's so many things that our student athletes get taught through athletic competition, through training and practice and their coaches. And so for him to be recognized for building a program based on character and dignity and all those things that were talked about, like, that's really exciting for me, and should be exciting for the rest of us, that our focus is really about developing these student athletes, because we know that the skills that they take from athletics will lead them to be strong employees, strong teammates, collaborators, all of those things that we strive for in our school system. And so kudos to you. We're excited to see where the program continues to grow. I know it takes time, and we know that things are in good hands, and we're excited for you in this recognition, and look forward to just kind of seeing what else comes of your time here. So congratulations. Thanks. And don't worry, there'll be another opportunity for a photo in a few minutes.
Right? I'm good. Between all of us, we're real close here in a color scheme.
Get yourself some originals like me. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. All right.
Thanks,
Congratulations.
guys. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're in the back.
So we'll get it now. Definitely not last but least anyway. This is an individual that some of you will recognize because you've already had the chance to recognize her in a different way, but I'm excited to have Allison Meager here. for Parker Center. She is our 2025 Golden Apple recipient, one of 5 people selected out of 6 people selected out of almost 600 nominees. I probably got that wrong too, but I'm pretty sure it's 600 nominees. Ish.
Kathy's back here, she knows all the details.
Like 1,400.
Okay, so I'm close. Josh knows I'm not a numbers guy. There are a lot of people nominated and very few people selected, and she was one of them. And so it's definitely an honor. Anytime we get a chance to celebrate one of our employees with this recognition, this is a really cool thing. I'm going to let her talk a little about what she went through to earn this award. But as I mentioned, every year for our new board members especially, like every year Golden Apple Foundation flip-flops, and so you have your K5 year and then your 6-12 year. And so it kind of flip-flops so that you get a chance to focus on a certain group. And they have some other awards, and you know too from past board meetings, they offer grants and things like that. And so this year obviously was our K-5 year. And so what's really cool too is that Allison, she's been with us since 2017, but she is currently a teacher in our PUP lab at Parker Center, which is in its first year. And so I'm going to let you talk a little bit about what PUP lab is, but I'm going to turn over to her and let her talk a little bit about the process because it's pretty rigorous. I know Kurt's wife has been selected. There's interviews and things that are happening, observations, all that kind of stuff, so that they really can ensure that they are recognizing the best of the best. And so I'm going to turn it over to you. You can talk a little bit about the process, and then if you want to say a little bit about PUP Lab, because I think that's a cool opportunity to share with especially our new board members.
I'd love to.
And Josh's wife.
What?
What?
You forgot about Josh's
Oh,
wife.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, Josh's wife.
Sure, I'm in trouble for that.
I think it's time to sit down. Just sit
She's
down.
probably not watching.
I teach kids all day, every day, and so I'm still nervous to be up here because they're this big and not adults. But so
We're
as
not
far
much taller. A lot of us.
A lot of them are.
It's a board. We have a lot of short board members. That's all. Go ahead. Sorry.
So for the Golden Apple process, once I was nominated, I chose to submit a portfolio. In December, they announced the top 20. So then from there, we had an interview. We had 3 observations. Getting it all. Thank you, Kathy. It is a long process, but it's also, I got to meet all of these other educators in the community, and we started a group chat, and so it was fun to see them out too and hear what they're doing in their classrooms. I feel like I was able to bring it to mine. On March 6th, they announced the Golden Apple winners, and my husband somehow kept it a secret for 3 whole days.
Yep.
I was shocked. I still am shocked that it happened, but I will say I attribute it to my colleagues. So diving into the PUP Lab. I have been at Parker Center. I was in a neighboring district for a few years before I came to Harlem. In Harlem, I've been at Parker Center the whole time, and I say, like, if I leave Parker Center, I will just be leaving education because it's my happy place. So this year, we were able to start what's called the PUP Lab. It is the kindergarten version of the district's learning lab. We service children with individualized education plans, IEP for short, who need the most help in the district for meeting the emotional and behavioral expectations of school. And so kids that I had start the year that perhaps could not even be in a classroom without, crying or cussing or all of the things that you could probably not even think of, are now coming to school smiling. They're asking their grown-ups to come to school on the weekend even. They're enjoying school, they're learning a lot of those social emotional skills that we need in life. So it's been a great program, and I'm hoping I can continue it for a really long time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And obviously, I don't want to take away from the recognition that she deserves, but I also know that PUP Lab's a new thing, and so I wanted to take that opportunity just to have her be able to share a little bit about what that looks like. And so, can you tell us, for those that don't know, after you get the award, you get recognized at the big banquet and all that stuff, what happens after that? What, as a Golden Apple now award winner recipient that joins Tiffany and Miranda, what happens now?
So I'm still learning. I'm very new to this. But there are events
that we can help with. There are different committees we can serve on. We also encourage, like I will help encourage other Harlem teachers to go through the process, to submit portfolios when they're nominated, and encourage people in the community to submit nominations for their favorite teachers, but also spread awareness as to the great things that are happening in schools, not just in this area, but just nationwide. Teachers are doing great things, so highlight excellence in education.
So if you could say, like, I'm gonna put you on the spot on this one, but
Oh,
like,
gosh.
out of that process, like, what's a takeaway? Like, going through submitting a portfolio, like, did you learn anything about yourself or something that kind of came out of that whole process that?
I think it, not to like be very cliche, but it helped me reflect on why I do what I do. And really, I already this year felt like the Pub Lab is what I've always been meant to do, but the Golden Apple process helped me kind of put it into words and really think about it, so.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So, obviously, on behalf of the board and the community, we're super excited to have you be part of our team, and to be part of the Harlem community, and for you to get that recognition. Like we saw it, for those that got the chance to go in for the surprise, we got to see that environment, and you see the excitement with the kids there, and that to me shows, like, when we get the chance to just see the reactions of the kids versus the reaction of actually the teacher, like, it just shows you what's going on in that space, and really, like, that you are impactful. It's not just a randomly selected person that is name's drawn out of a hat and you get the Golden Apple. Like, there's a lot of work that leads up to that to really identify 6, not 5, top teachers in our area. And so congratulations to you. That's a huge honor. Thank you as well for your support and all the work that they do. Like I said, beyond the teacher awards, like the grants, the amount of money that some of our staff have received this year for different things.
I got a grant too.
You got a grant too?
Yeah.
What grant?
It was for like our gross motor time, like different gross motor items, bikes, things. A lot of it is used for indoor like recess type time because my kids need to get their energy out.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely, absolutely. So thank you to the Golden Apple Foundation, obviously, for doing all this work. They do a lot to recognize and to contribute to our community and our profession. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, let's get All right, everybody. Last photo that I have tonight. It is as cool as the apple. A lot less expensive.
Moving all around here.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I had one other fun fact that I just found out too, so this is a fellow board member.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, so she's on the board of Sherland School
It
District.
is just as intense as
Yeah.
our
So she is amidst her colleagues as a board member too, so thank you for your service of being a board member as
Thank
well.
you.
But congratulations.
Thank you, fellow board members.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congrats.
And at this time, there are no comments from the community. So we'll move it over to Josh and the approval of the bills.
Yeah, it's tough to follow up all that excitement with the bills. I should put you at the bottom.
I told them that nobody ever stayed at school bills, so they left pretty quickly.
He just can't be as wrong on numbers. That's the important part.
614, whatever. All right. The total payables this period were $1,361,587.48. There were 1 payroll this period in the amount of $3,566,975.89 for total expenditures of $4,928,563.37. Split out by fund, the education fund paid $4,200,470.21. The operations and maintenance fund paid $215,743.32. The transportation fund paid $217,175.16. The IRF Social Security Fund paid $123,201.19. The Capital Projects Fund paid $137,635.22. And the Life Safety Fund paid $34,338.27. Again, for total expenditures of $4,928,563.37. Are there any unanswered bill questions? That is it for this.
Motion
See how exciting that is?
Motion to approve the bills.
Motion.
Second. Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Our next regular board meeting will be June 16th, 2025, at 6 p.m. I have a recommendation to approve the revised 2025-2026 board and COTW meeting schedule. Graduation, what we're here for, is going to be this Saturday, right?
Are you asking or
No,
telling?
it's this Saturday. It's been a long day. It's this Saturday, 10 a.m. at the BMO.
Oh, you mean the Metro Center?
Yes, Metro Center, BMO, right?
Yeah,
You threw me off.
I did.
It is the big one for now.
It's the BMOs. Yes, thank you, guys. You guys are just on it today with the, we have, what, 7 days left of school for the kids?
Yes.
So, I know, I asked my daughter that today, and she was going down, so I knew it was 7. But this is also culmination for our seniors. They had their last day. Did you guys see the fireworks? Oh, it was good.
Where were you?
I was in the parking lot way in the night.
Yeah, let's do it.
They started early because they were supposed to do it at 9, and I think they started firing.
It was outstanding.
But it was a great job.
No, it was last Thursday night. I
Um,
don't know about it.
That's all I got for my stuff today. So with that, I will turn it over to Kurt Thompson.
Oh, wow, all right. Yeah, it is the time of the year where there is so much going on, and I've got a long list along with all the great people that we can actually bring in and celebrate their achievements as well. Let me see it hit a couple here, and I'll leave some for others as well. It was book battle time. So congratulations for everyone that participated in book battle. Windsor, the Wasps, took home the championship, and I believe, was it Ralston, second place?
Ralston got 3rd.
Third?
Yeah.
Ooh, do you remember that second? I feel bad for not having that down. I knew the first, but congratulations to them as well. It's such a great program, and I'm glad to see that every year that keeps on going. It has been busy and crazy. I haven't been able to attend, but we had the student showcase this weekend. For some people were able to attend that. The Husky Hustle Saturday, we've got the great photo from that as well. You mentioned the fireworks. Olson Parks Fun Fair. They had some great weather for getting people dunked in some cold water on the warm weather there. And then to everyone that was in here, Olson Park with the pledge, bringing in 5th graders, moving on to 6th, and calling out the great students. We had Bo Shields and both the Shields. What a fantastic legacy they're creating for swimmers. We have Mr. Allison and what he really represents, right? Like when we were bringing that in and making sure that we brought that sense of integrity up another level with that hire, and this award proves that we found the right guy, and I can't wait to see his continued success there. Mrs. Riener and the Pup Lab. I've said it once and I'll say it again. I love when we start a new program, a program that's kind of tough to say what it's doing and the success out of it, and then to get accolades for finding the right person, the right program, the success that's coming out of it, and the way it's such a golden apple, really proves, again, we're doing the right stuff, we're finding things that are successful, and man, there's been so many good things coming out of Parker Center always, but even after some of the behavior stuff of last year, turning that right around, and this is just another example of the administrators and the teachers finding the right way to get to that successful outcome. There's some other ones there, but I'm only second, so I will save some echoes.
No, there's not. You went through every one.
No, I was like 3 or 4. With that, I believe we have business services at the committee as a whole. That is going to be June 11th, 2025 at 4:30. And I'll just go out. Congratulations to all the seniors. I can't wait to celebrate all of you on Saturday.
Yes. Aaron
Then you
McKnight.
put one that wasn't on your list, too. Oh, no, I think it's been a great school year. I know we're sitting with 7 days left. Our seniors, they took off after the senior sunset. I will say I popped over there and was just kind of hanging out on the field and, you know, in the background. And the way that was set up, I mean, the bag sets, there was a ton of bag sets that were actually purchased by the student council from our building program. So that was outstanding. I don't know who sewed the bags. I didn't get that information, but I mean, somebody did. But there was, you know, large Jenga. The students were absolutely amazing. I love celebrating our students, and I love doing that. And obviously the fireworks. It was funny because I was obviously standing afar, and we all know it was kind of windy that night. It's been a little dry, and a couple of them were a little low, and I could see like, ooh, uh-oh. But no, that was great. I hope that we can continue that going. The seniors, I mean, they just sat down and they were just sat down. It was like clumps across, and it was outstanding. But I think this has been a great school year. I know we've done some great things as a district. Obviously, we've got some things to do. We got new curriculums that are going into place next year that we're doing just to make sure we're improving the education for our students. Our sports teams, you know, I definitely think Reed was the right choice for that. Having conversations with him, and I saw that he got the award, and I maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm like, oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. You know what I mean? So that was a good feeling. Bo Shields, I've sat down and talked with Bo and Brad, you know, about some things in the pool area that we're working on. But yeah, like I said, Brad went live last year when Bo was downstate, so luckily I got an alert on my phone and happened to watch him swim. That is a facility. We need to build one like that, Josh, you know. Where's it at?
I think it was Illinois State. I don't know. All I know is you could probably fit like 10,000 people in there. So, what?
I'm on it.
Legion level pool?
Yeah.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. So, but again, you know, students, staff, 7 days, hold out, keep it together. We're almost done with this year, and you know, we're almost done. Well, we're still planning for great things next year. So, with that being said, Mr. Sterling.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
Diane
I've
McKee.
been affected.
Okay. I want to give a shout out to Miss Kimberly Slick. She got the nomination awarded for the ZOK Teacher of the Week last week. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then Brock Moreland did the limo luncheon for the fundraising at Marquette Elementary School. So that was kind of interesting too. We had done that in the past with Lowe's Park when I was there. That's always fun for the kids. They really enjoy that when they get this huge limo and drive around and have lunch together.
Such creative ideas.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And then, once again, I went on Saturday, to the production, the Harlem Production Student Showcase that was gone with Mr. Stang, is that right? Is that Stang? Okay. And that film that the students put together was just amazing. I guess there was 4 at the beginning, and I went to that. And I was going to leave early because we had a special engagement, but we kind of made some notes that we're going to be a little late because we wanted to see the rest. I couldn't believe how phenomenal these kids put all this work in, And it was so interesting that I felt like I was gonna miss something if I left, so I had to come back and stay for the rest of it. During the intermission, we had a chance to visit the jazz band, and that was phenomenal too. I hadn't been near the jazz band for years in the school district, so that was really fun to just sit there and then enjoy the culinary treats that the culinary students put together. The chocolate chip cookies are amazing, and I'm also gonna say that I also had a Rice Krispie treat bar. So those were really good. Once again, I'm going to try to attend the senior walk this week, this Thursday, and again, hopefully baccalaureate on Thursday night. So I'm really trying to get involved as much as I can with the Harlem School District and all the activities that the students and the teachers put on.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You got that one piece.
Oh,
Yes, yes. And next education committee meeting will be June 11th at 4:30, 2025.
Thank you. Rebecca Creston.
Thank you. Good evening. It's our first board meeting with 2 new members. This is amazing. It's so cool. Some new faces and new ideas and start out a new term, I guess you could say. I appreciate Olson Park. I just, like I've said so many times before, I just love watching the kids come in and do the Pledge of Allegiance. That's not something you just learn overnight. I mean, there's big words in that phrase, in that saying, and just, the word allegiance, do they know what allegiance means? But it's just so fun to see them really take it on and learn it and know what they're saying. And to our 5th graders, way to go. Off to 6th grade next year. It's going to be a whole change. A lot of new things, a lot of new teachers, a lot of new lunches to choose from. To Allison and Golden Alpha, that's just amazing. And especially with special ed, IEPs, whichever. But I loved Parker Center. It was my favorite school when I worked over there too. Just little people who just love to be there and love that you're helping them and can't wait to do what comes up the next day. So that's just amazing. To Swim Bo, I believe was his name, correct? And congrats to him for doing such a great job swimming. I was a timer in high school, so that was always fun to watch them come in and try to make sure they were the best one in the pool. And they had to be in my lane because they had to be the best in my lane. But that was fun. It's going to be a busy week. Senior walk on Thursday, and hoping to go down to middle school and check it out and see what's going on down there. And then I'm looking forward to making a tile, one of their big tiles in McChesney, so that'll be kind of fun. And then Thursday evening will be the baccalaureate, so I'm looking forward to that. That's a really cool program. I did that last year, and that's just, wow. They just take the time, and the kids actually put it together, and they do their own ceremony. The whole thing is really wonderful to see. And I'm proud to be on this side of the table, because now I can look at all the cool artwork and try something new to stare at. So this is really neat. So I think for me, that's, and we have a policy meeting coming up as well on June 11th for the COTW, and also a recommendation to approve the first reading of the policy updates from May 14th Policy Committee as they were recommended. So, back to you.
Thank you. Diana Jensen.
Thank you. Well, on May 5th, I attended the Harlemites breakfast that they hold the first Monday of every month. And we had the Harlem Choraleers come and sing for us this month, and they did a wonderful job. It was so good, especially the one girl, and I can't remember her name, but she did the Billy Joel song, The Piano Man. She played the harmonica and played the piano. She was awesome. She did a wonderful job. So we really did enjoy that. We did go to the fireworks on Thursday night for the senior sunset, and they were beautiful. They were very, very nice. And I think that really was nice for the students. I think they really did enjoy that. I'm looking forward to, I'll be going to baccalaureate on Thursday night. And then for the graduation for the first time on Saturday. I have wore graduation gowns for 50 years, so this will be it. And I know that because my 50th class reunion is this year at Belvedere, so. But 50 years, yeah, so I'm looking forward to the graduation and seeing the kids, so it will be a lot of fun. So that's all I have this evening. Everybody else covered everything else, I think.
Thank you so much.
Oh, one more thing. I would like to say Bo Shields, I've known the Shields family for years, watched him grow up, and his dad coach and things now and things, so kudos to him and all the little 5th graders when they come and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Usually, as adults, when we do it, we kind of zip through that thing, but I've noticed when the kids do it, they say it nice and slow and pronounce all the words, and they really do a good job. And like I say, I've noticed that they can take their time, and as adults, we kind of want to go fast. So they make us go slow and really understand what we're saying.
Yep, thank you so much. Ms. Evelyn Meeks.
Good evening to everyone. First I want to say, the school year is almost coming to an end, and I have to acknowledge the artwork as we end the year. But I want to say congratulations to the future teachers. I didn't get a chance to come to their signing, but I hope when each one of you, when you graduate, you come back to Harlem.
They'll get your card right.
I want to say congratulations to all the athletes at their signing. I wasn't able to attend that, but I'm wishing you guys all good luck as you continue school. I don't know what your guys are majoring in, but I wish each one of you good luck. And I also want to say congratulations. I attended a staff appreciation banquet. I want to say congratulations to all of our teachers that have put in so many years and are continuing to still be here. And I want to say good luck and wish all the retirees a happy retirement and let them know that Harlem is here and you can always come back and visit. You will be greatly missed. I
was waiting for it. I was waiting for the line, and sub.
Huh?
They can visit and sub.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I also attended Mr. Stangy. I always want to call him Strangey for the Stangy's film. I go every year. And his students do an amazing job. If you ever get a chance to go just on a Saturday, I didn't get the chance to see the first part, but I wished I had a prior engagement. And I came in on the last part of the jazz band. We have an amazing, Tim is awesome with the jazz, all the different bands he have here, but the film was amazing. As Diane said, you just have to go and see him. If you can't come to all of it, at least go to some of it, even if it's just an hour watching maybe 2 of them. But once you get there, you won't be able to leave because it's so good. And they had some really good ones this year, didn't they? It just make you sit back and think, and I mean, like, wow.
They did.
Really
I
good.
stayed, I'm like, I gotta go back in.
Because I know the one girl, she did the one about her boyfriend, and they were out at Pierce Lake, and when they got close to the lake, I kept saying, she's gonna push him, or he's gonna push her in, but she ended up pushing him in, and the way she done it, you see him fall back, and he hit his head on something, you can hear the crunch, and then everything goes black, and then she gets a phone call, and then she crashes into a tree. But it's just showing you how students, you have to start paying attention to your students and listen to them. And, you never know what's going on with them. It's just, it showed like different friends that they had the similar circumstances with different situations, but they were friends once, but they didn't know the other one was having the same problem as her because she came from a 2-family household and she came from a single mom. But they all had the same. I'll stop it right there, but you'll get a chance to watch it because he said he's going to post it. But if you get a chance, look at all of the work that those students, they do an amazing job. And I know it takes a lot of time, but they do a really good job. I also want to say congratulations to the athletic director, Mr. Allison, to start a job as athletic director in a whole new district and to end up getting new athletic coach of the year for 2024 and 25. You're doing great things, so we really appreciate you. As we prepare for our kids getting ready to graduate, I call them my kids, even though they're not my kids because we're still here representing them. I want you to know that we appreciate you as you go off into the new world. Well, it'll be new because you'll be paying bills and doing things that you'll get acquainted to new things that you'll be wishing you were a child again. But I want to have a successful life ahead. I plan on going to the senior walk and also baccalaureate, but it's definitely gonna be a busy week, and I just want to wish everybody a safe, happy summer and looking for your return when school starts back up. Even though school's not out, I'm giving you a heads up that we are thinking about you and we're looking forward to you. And I think that's all I have to report, except for the next equity meeting will be June 11th at 4:30.
Thank you so much.
One thing that wasn't hit, maybe Jason, do you have the number on it for the student awards? How many, wasn't it over $1 million in overall scholarships?
It was 2.
Wow.
That was 2.5. Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy about numbers.
Yeah, I purchased
He could be off by 1.5.
2 million.
It's over 2 million.
Over $2 million in
So
scholarships.
so just certain students got, there's one student that got almost 50,000.
Yeah.
Dr. Boyce did say it was kind of hard to get the
Yeah.
exact amount, but
Yeah.
it was over 2 million.
Over 2 million earned by our students. It's amazing.
Oh, and I want to say congratulations to Bo Shields also. So that's my report.
Thank you so much. And with that, I turn it over for administrative reports. Dr. Michelle?
Thank you. I have a couple items this evening. I have some travel sitting at your spot. The first one is for this weekend. Taylor Washington qualified for state in the triple jump. Since Mr. Shields went over how it's done in swimming, I can let you know for track. It is the top 2 finishers in the event for state qualifying time or distance, depending on the event. And Taylor ended up getting second in the triple jump, so good luck to her this weekend. My second travel is in anticipation. So Thursday night is the boys track sectional, and we don't have a meeting in between, and we always try to bring any type of travel to the board prior to. So we're very hopeful that we have some state qualifiers for the following weekend. Same thing, it's the top 2 finishers in each event or state qualifying time or distance. And then the third one is one that the board members who've been here for a few years have seen before for our new ones. Bowling, we have an amazing bowling team that we've been fortunate enough qualifies for nationals quite often based off of their state performance. And so we have our bowling team that would be going to nationals. They don't require transportation because their families go with them, so they ride with their families, but they'll be representing Harlem in June, and we wish them the best of luck. So those are my 3 travels that I'm going to ask for approval. My second item was all presented at the Education Committee meeting. If we are going to make any changes to our discipline matrix, we always bring it to the board and ask for their approval prior to. The elementary discipline matrix was basically just adjusting those years. We no longer have 6th grade at the elementary, and so that was the primary change there. And then the secondary matrix, we don't use Saturday school, so primarily it was just the removal of Saturday school. And then this year we used some restorative practice points with contract. We've piloted it as a program. We'd like to ask for board approval so we can get it in the handbook and everything for this upcoming school year. So I'm asking for approval of that.
Quick question. For the boys track,
Yes.
11 students, 2 adults, which is all conjecture. 'cause
Well, they're guessing. I mean,
We're guessing.
yes.
Would that mean that if the number goes down, would they switch to a van? Or is it just bus?
It all depends on the number. So if they can take a van, they always like to take a van, but we have the limits within our CBA how many students we can have to utilize a van versus a bus. But they're very hopeful that we can be able to take a bus, that we have that many kids who qualify.
This is just something to fix.
Right,
They have to take in a van.
Yes.
We don't have to do another request.
No, from my past experiences, we always ask for a bus first. If we end up having a van, then we take a van, as long as one's available.
That was my language.
Yep.
Thank you.
And finding drivers who want to stay in the dorms, not very many like to do that.
Yeah, I get it. All right. And over to Josh Rand.
All right, thank you very much. My first item tonight is a recommendation to approve resolution declaring surplus property at Parker Center, Windsor Elementary, and Olson Park Elementary. Next is a recommendation to approve facility request. I have 2 this evening. One is with Harlem Varsity Dance. The other one is for Carlson Boys and Girls Club to rent the field in the fall. Any questions on either of those? All right. Next is a recommendation to accept the March 2025 Treasurer's Report. And I'd just like to take a few minutes this evening, since we have a few new board members, and just kind of hit some highlights on the revenues in our ed funds and kind of how those flow into the district. So we break up our ed fund revenues by local funds, state, and federal funds. So locally, the main source of that is property taxes, in which the ed fund brings in about $37 million for property taxes. Next is CPPRT, which is Corporate Personal Property Replacement Tax, and that comes from the Department of Revenue. And this has been a pretty inconsistent source for us over the years. For example, in '23, the Ed Fund received $9.6 million. This year we budgeted 4.1, and it looks like it's going to be 3.7. So we've dropped almost $6 million in the Ed Fund in 2 years. So pretty inconsistent for that source. Interest is next, and we had budgeted 1.75 million, and it looks like we're gonna get $2 million in interest in the Ed Fund. So interest currently, while the rates are fairly high, is a good source of revenue for us. And then the rest of local funds are school fees, athletic fees, stuff like that, just all kind of the rest of the miscellaneous fees with that. So next for state funds, a majority of that is our evidence-based funding, which is 35.1 million, or 91% of our state funds, not including property tax relief grant. So a little bit, just kind of the history of EBF is, for this year, we received an additional 527,000, which is 1.6%. Last year in '24 it was 400,000, which is 1.23%, and then the year before it was 567,000, so 1.78. So in the last 3 years, the state has averaged 1.54% for Harlem. Overall is 4.6%, but our CPI was 14.9%. So EBF isn't keeping up with inflation that way on the revenue side. So for federal, the main sources of that are food service, which is about 3.6 million. Because we're CEP, so all the meals in the meal program are free. Title 1, 2, 3, and 4, and those total about 2.5 million from the feds. Our Medicaid amount, what we budget, I typically budget a 4-year average on that. It's about 1.75 million. IDEA funds, so our kids with special needs or IEPs, 1.55 million. And then obviously our ESSER funds are gone. We've used all of those. So, and federal funding, obviously looking forward, no one's quite sure what that's going to look like either, whether that's flat or whether there'll be cuts in that. So that's kind of the main revenue pieces of the Ed Fund. Does anyone have any questions on any of those?
And all that evidence-based funding, if you haven't looked into it, some of the stuff online, but once you come to Tri-Conference, just a little bit coming up, they have some great programs. I learned a lot on how that works, what it's based off of.
It's a really complex, it used to be really easy to sell. Now
Yeah, at least it's a little bit better, but now it's more
factors.
complex as always.
Yeah, but it's a much better than what we had before. Yeah, much better system. So, all right. If there's no questions, my next item is a recommendation to approve a renewal quote for the treasurer's bond for FY26, which is the bond for me, with a limit of $7.6 million in the amount of $6,716, up $84 since then. My next two items relate to PTAB appeal. So 11B5 is a recommendation to approve a resolution authorizing Attorney Amy Silvestri to intervene in property tax appeal number 2024-01868 for property index number or PIN 08-21-101-021 for the year 2024. And Mike enjoys saying these in the voting items.
I love it.
So this property is for the Walgreens going down to PTAB. So next is 11B6, which is a recommendation to approve a resolution authorizing Attorney Amy Silvestri to intervene in PTAB number 2024-02341 for PIN 08-20-228-011 for the year 2024, and this is for Home Depot. And these resolutions just appoint our attorney to be able to represent us down at the state whenever those cases are heard. Any questions on either of those?
Do they ever get very far with those? Do they typically not get lowered then, or?
So it takes 4 or 5 years, and they're very friendly to the businesses.
Well, I mean, I was just talking to the assessor today, like Walgreens had their value valued at, they're at $890-something thousand. So the tax assessor had to spend $3,000 to have a proper assessment, and it's closer to like 1.7 million. So this is kind of,
A ways back, Mondelez appealed their taxes, and they used a building that had been condemned, and by the time we got to PTAB, that building had been torn down, and they won that building was more comparable than our actual food references that we put that we're making food. So that kind of tells you what PTAB's like, but you have to try on some of these. Well, and we didn't appeal, they're appealing the county's decision, so we're just there to, whether it's present in conjunction with the township an appraisal or produce our own evidence, but we can at least kind of piggyback with that. So.
Thank you.
Yep. 11B7 is a recommendation to approve bakery product renewal of Alpha Bakery for the FY26 year at a projected cost decrease of 2.4. We've got some wins in here tonight, so we'll take negative 2.44%.
The hinge funds went up though.
Next is 11B8, which is a recommendation to approve milk product renewal for Muller Pinehurst for 25-26. And the question had come up about why do we have 2 white milks, 2 chocolate milks so close in percent, and that was because whatever they have available to bring, that's why it's 1% versus skim percent when I asked. So it's just more of an availability piece.
Gotcha.
Any questions on that? All right, next is a recommendation to approve a 2-year extension of banking services agreement with Associated Bank through June 30th, 2027. Okay. 11B10 is a recommendation to award Harlem Middle School painting corridor project bid to Midwest Decorating, Inc. with a base bid of $55,400 and an alternate one amount of $37,000 for a total cost of $92,400. Just for the record, this is year 3 of painting and sprucing up the middle school. 11B11 is a recommendation to award the high school and Parker Center flooring replacement project bid to Rockford Carpetland USA with a base bid of the high school of $67,963. I'm also recommending alternate A1 for $11,250, alternate A2 for $12,981, alternate A3 for $7,535, and alternate A4 for $7,535 for a total cost of $107,264. And Parker Center with a base bid of $14,725. We are beginning to replace the carpet at the secondary classrooms because we have a lot of carpet and some buildings or classrooms in need with carpet at Parker Center.
Are we doing the squares then, right?
So
we're not like, but we're doing the squares.
So the carpet's not going back in. It's a nicer tile.
That's
so
right. That's right.
It's
the
a
same
durable
question.
like laminate tile. So we generally only put carpet in square form when absolutely necessary. Okay. So we've done a lot of, like we did the whole Olson building that was carpet that we tiled that way just for air quality.
It's clean, yeah. I get it.
All right, next is a recommendation to award waste disposal and recycling services to LRS Lakeshore Recycling Systems, LLC from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2028 for an average cost of $5,435 per month. And we do have Kathy from LRS who has come out to be here. So just a note, this is a 25% reduction and a savings over the 3 years of $66,000 to the district. So we thank you guys for being
A win.
Yeah, that's right.
We all won that one.
We look forward to
throwing money away.
Literally.
Does anyone have any questions?
This is like a Jake thing.
He's not here.
Where's that Jake?
All right. Next is a recommendation to approve an agreement with Waggle and Amiria, if I said that right, HMH support curriculum for Loves Park Elementary, including professional development, curriculum, and coaching paid with SIP grant funds. That total amount from his memo was $101,226. My final item this evening is a recommendation to approve an agreement with Formative for professional development for the middle school and high school on August 14th at a cost of $4,200 paid with Title II funds. If there are no questions, that's my report this evening.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Sunny-Liz.
Good evening, Mr. Sterling. This evening, I have the recommendation to approve the personnel agenda and addendum. We have 15 employments to look at tonight, 9 transfers, 2 certified Federation Bank requests, 3 classified Federation Bank requests, 14 resignations, 2 revised dates on resignations, and 1 who would like to rescind her retirement resignation, which I'm hoping we're all happy to oblige. So she's going to stay with us another year. We'll have her. We certainly will. So that was the last of my recommendations tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dr. Terrell.
Thank you, sir. We've got a few FOIA requests here to report out on. The first one, Freedom of Information Act with the district response dated April 25th of 2025. It's a Painters District Council number 30, but inclusive information requested. The second one, Freedom of Information Act response submitted on May 2nd, 2025 to Jennifer Kaiser, including responsive communications as requested. The third one, dated May 1st of 2025, submitted to Michael Ailey regarding his request for records related to National Child Abuse Month, stating the district has no records in response. And then the final one, submitted by Frank Patterson of Academy Research Group on May 2nd, 2025, requesting information on the current employee list and the district's response when inclusive documents dated May 8th of 2025. That should be. But hey, we got it.
Forward thinking.
Forward thinking. Yeah. If there's no questions about the FOIA request, that is my report.
Thank you, sir. Can I get a motion to approve the personal agenda and addendum?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Meeks, aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Can I get a motion to approve the student travel requests?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve facility requests?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the revised 2025-2026 board and CLTW meeting schedule?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve elementary and secondary discipline behavior matrix and restorative point contract as recommended?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye. Can I get a motion to approve the policy committee recommendations from May 14th, 2025 for the first reading?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve resolution declaring surplus property?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. McKinney? Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Yep. Yes.
Can I get a motion to accept the March 2025 treasurer's report?
Motion.
Second. Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Can I get a motion to approve renewal quote for the treasurer's bond FY26 with a limit of $7,600,000 in the amount of $6,716?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Motion. I'm getting her in trouble. First day in class, I'm getting her in trouble.
Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr.
Sorry.
McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve resolution authorizing Attorney Amy Silvestri to intervene in property tax appeal number 2024-02341 for property index number 08-20-28-228-011 for the year 2024?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve resolution authorizing Attorney Amy Silvestri to intervene in property tax appeal number 2024-01868 for property index number 08-21-101-021 for the year 2024?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the bakery product renewal with Alpha Bakery for 2025-2026?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Can I say approve minus the steak buns?
No.
Just kidding. Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye. Can I get a motion to approve milk product renewal with Mulder Pinehurst for 2025-2026?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the extension of banking service agreement with Associated Bank through June 30th, 2026?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Yes.
Can I get a motion to approve HMS Painting Corridor Project bid to Midwest Decorating, Inc. with a base of $55,400 and alternate number one, $37,000 for a total cost of $92,400?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Recommendation to award HHS and Parker Center flooring replacement project bid to Rockford Carpetland USA with a base bid for HHS of $67,963 with an alternate A1 for $11,250, A2 $12,981, A3 $7,535, A4 $7,535 for a total cost of $107,264. Parker Center with a base bid of $14,725.
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Kenny?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Right.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve an award to Waste Disposal Recycling Services bid to LRS Lakeshore Recycling Systems LLC from July 1, 2025 to June 30, 2028 for an average cost of $5,435 per month?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Yes.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve agreement with Waggle and Amira HMH support curriculum for Loves Park Elementary, including professional development curriculum and coaching paid with the SIP grant funds?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve an agreement with Formative for professional development for middle school and high school on August 14th at a cost of $4,200 paid with Title II?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye. Are there any announcements and discussion?
I just wanted to ask, what was your name again?
It's Kathy or Catherine Evenson.
Kathy, I put our zip code in here and it says that service is not available in our area on your website. I'm just saying.
So we just moved into the area, actually. I've been with LRS since 2020. I started the day that all the schools shut. because of COVID. And I can tell you that I was basically promoted earlier this year to a regional account executive, and my focus and emphasis is to grow this area. We just signed up Belvedere School District, and we have a plethora of school districts that are finding that we are the niche for your services.
Okay, like I said, I just
That's-
typed it in, and it's like,
that's
service is
interesting.
not
Thank you for
available
that.
in your
I'm gonna
area.
get all over my marketing team. So, you just like put that into your Google search engine there?
I actually just went to your website, I just typed in, Lakeshore Recycling, and then it came up, and it says enter zip code, so I just entered the zip code, it says, sorry, we're not in your area.
This, we will be,
Okay.
we should have a site here very, very soon.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Just making sure.
My backyard, I'm all for it. No problem. Thank you for your requests, and I'm here to answer any questions. I'm an open book. I don't know if you've ever experienced that in the waste disposal industry, but that's how I roll. And if there's anything that I can do to help you with any other disposal needs outside of the general waste and recycling services, we also offer portable potties. So, I mean, if you guys use those, we offer street sweeping. Looks like you're gonna be having some flooring projects coming up. We will also extend our offering to any of your contractors. If they want to utilize our services, we'll make sure that we give them a real nice price, and hopefully they can pass along some savings.
Cool.
All right, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any savings is good savings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for coming this evening.
Yes, it means a
No,
lot.
I enjoyed
Yeah.
it, thank you.
Are there any other announcements in discussion?
I would like just to look at the COTW possibly with the board meeting. I know we have 7 months where there's only one board meeting, and I would like to see, I know there are people who would like to come to the COTW meetings who cannot make it because of the time, and like when we had this last one with hundreds of press agreements, it goes on longer and longer. I would appreciate having COTW split into 2 meetings. First Wednesday of the month, education and ESJ. Second Wednesday of the month, business and policy. And then the first Monday after that, second Wednesday, would be just one regular board meeting per month. So we would still have 3 meetings as we do now. But it would be nice to have a little more time to spend. I know for myself, by the time we get to business at COTW, everybody's ready to go home and in a hurry, and it's just nice to settle and listen and ask questions, and it would be nice to possibly revise the timeline and see if we can get more people in, and then maybe have a little longer meetings instead of rushing, and start them at 6 instead of 4:30 when people are still at work and want to get home and want to get here, want to have dinner. And so it'd just be nice to have a little more time to think about what's going on in each meeting, so it's an option.
I mean, I kind of like it the way it is.
I mean, I was on your side, Rebecca, until we started doing it. And I was worried about, with working, getting here early enough on time and staying here that long. But, I mean, we jokingly kind of rush things through, but you've been there. Like, I still ask my
Oh, sure.
lots and lots of questions in business
No.
services, I know. But like, to the point, like, I think we still get all the information that's done. I think the benefit of being early is all our administrators that have been here all day get a chance to get out of here too with a decent amount of time. And I think having one, and I speak to myself with, I'm gonna be always battling my kids' schedule on top of things as well. And one day is easier for myself than even 2. And we used to have even more, right?
Oh,
Like-
yeah.
Like, I was okay
Right.
with having some of
4 a
those.
month was a lot.
And you miss some of them,
Yes.
and when you miss one, you miss a lot, so, yeah, I'm a convert to the meeting of the whole. I think it really has worked out, even with my own initial objections.
I second that.
You're gonna echo it?
You're new to this, but like.
I
you
know.
love-
Oh, yeah.
we like you.
Right, I really like this process right now, like I have watched before online and stuff and watched you guys perform, and I couldn't keep up with the 4 meetings and thing, whatever. This way I feel like I got everything coming, and it gives me a lot of information at this point. But like I said, I am new, so,
No, that's a fresh perspective.
We can't do the third Wednesday because that's my township meetings.
It'll be second Wednesday, so first and second Wednesday would be the only thing I
I
would
know, but
say.
then the school board meeting. well,
No, it would be the
third
Monday after
Yeah,
Wednesday,
wrong.
so.
I'm trying to make up a good excuse. I just like it the way
No,
it
I
is.
think that's, I'm not gonna worry about it either way, so just a thought.
Okay.
Well, like I say, I'm new here, so I've been watching the process, I've been coming to some meetings. I'm okay with having it all done on a Wednesday night and get it done at one time, but I am.
Okay. I mean, the one thing I do like about it is everyone's there and everyone.
They are long sometimes.
Yeah.
And we get to go through each one, because like you said, if you miss an education meeting, and then it comes to the board, and then you're playing catch up over the week to figure out what happened.
Plus, you're tying it up in board meeting time frame, which is meant for approval.
And when you get those questions, you get to ask those questions to those people, and it gives them time to give us back those answers before.
I mean, maybe there's some opportunities of either, you know, streaming some of it or taking some of the, I mean, the notes are available, but some way of allowing more participation and other people to see. But obviously it's open, and you can come. They even have to leave when Josh is here, so they can stick through all of it.
You guys just like doing that, that's.
How it is, no.
Throwing the barbs.
But no, I mean, jokes aside, like, I think there's anything that we can open up to allow more people to experience is good, and we've done some, right? Like, we have taken some of the equity work, and we've brought them into our board meetings to share what our teams are doing. And this time I didn't, because we had a lot, but I tried to share as well, things, and we should, right? You should be sharing the things, and we all should be sharing what we come from that meeting out to the public best we can, or bring it up even in some of our presentations when there aren't so many, you know, this time of year is a little bit busy. But you try to do that to shed some light, because I get it. These meetings, when we're going over and we're approving stuff, especially budgets and numbers, you may not go, what was this? Why were we doing $7.6 million, whatever it is, right? Like, and we understand where that is, and we have the context from the meeting, but others may not as well. So I think there's opportunities there, but yeah, for the meeting, I think the benefits outweigh the cost for it.
I like it better this way too. Because in the past, when we had it on different nights, it was hard, and then you could come and attendance was low. And now we have more people who are coming and they're staying. Where before, we might have a business meeting, like 6 of us would be here for education, like 14 or whatever. But now the rooms are packed, and it's making everybody more aware, and you're staying focused on what's going on. Although it might be long, I'd rather get it done in one night, and I can stay focused and look at what's going on. If I have any questions, I can ask instead of trying to figure out what they've done at this meeting when I wasn't there. This one makes you stay and be a part of all of the meetings that we have, all the committees.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements or discussions on this stuff? Okay. With that, can I get a motion to go into executive session to discuss negotiations 5 ILCS 120-2 C2?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. McKnight?
Yes.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
5 minutes?
5 minutes?
All right.